name is Norman Patten, and I'm the head men's and women's tennis coach. I began working at Jefferson in 2019. I became interested in tennis at the age of 11. My mom dropped me off at like a summer camp, and I picked up a racket. I came home, and then I decided tennis was the sport for me.
How would you describe yourself as a player?
A little bit of a head case when I was younger. Now that I've matured a little bit, now I kind of have to have the coach's perspective, and that's helped me a lot. So now I feel like I'm more collected, more calm, and kind of keep things cool on the court.
Were you John McEnroe when you were younger?
Kind of. I spent a lot of money in rackets, I'll tell you that. I graduated from Westchester University, and I have a degree in business management and marketing, and I have a minor in international business. My favorite memory from when I played tennis was at a 16s national. I played a kid that was top 50 in the country, and I had lost to him the year before. And after I beat him, he punched his racket strings repeatedly, and he came up to the net, and he couldn't shake my hand because he had blood running down his arm, and he just gave me like a little elbow bump, and that was like a bittersweet moment for me. That was one of my favorite memories growing up. I realized I wanted to be a coach probably during my high school and early college years. I liked helping people. It was easy for me to get people better. And I enjoyed the process. I liked seeing people kind of discouraged and then watching them kind of grow into a more developed player and a more developed person, you know, kind of having a deeper appreciation for the sport and not believing it as hard as it looks. You know, there's people that play tennis for 20 years that stay at the same level, and then there's people that play for a year and get a lot better, and they're, you know, it's not talent, I mean, that's a little bit, but it's the hard work that people put in and kind of understanding what the correct thing to do is. And that's what's nice about working with the kids at Jefferson. I mean, you kind of change the mentality to not when will I get better, but you will get better if you do this, and this is your path to get to that next level. So coming in here and kind of changing the level, changing the recruitment level, and changing the players' mindset and their physical being, you know, getting them in better shape. That was my goal, and that's what we work on every day. The biggest learning curve for me was probably the age difference. Being so close in age, you kind of get along with everybody really well, but it was really easy for me to separate myself from coach from player. And it gave me an advantage being closer in age to them to kind of relate to them more, and, you know, rather than being possibly from a different generation of tennis players, it gave me a more realistic look through their eyes of, you know, what's new, you know, what did I do playing college tennis, how can that benefit you? So it was a big curve, but it was also, you know, one of the bigger pluses of helping them. Right now, during COVID, I would say the place I would want to visit is, I'm gonna say Australia. That's probably my place to be and not come back. So that's where you can find me.
What Grand Slam tennis tournament would you most like to attend, and why?
I've been to some of them, but I would definitely put Wimbledon on my list. Looks like a fun one to go to, dress up in all white. I'm going to say the best coaching advice I've ever had was from Liesl Huber, who was a former women's #1 doubles player. And I was at an academy in South Carolina at Vandermeer's, and I was going through some tough times in my life with my family and with my own personal shenanigans, and I guess she picked up on that when I was hitting one day, and she took me over to the side and she's like, what's going on? And I explained to her what was happening, and, you know, I didn't really care to be there. And she said, you know, when you were on the court, you know, when you're walking onto the court, you take all the baggage that is with you and you just let it down. You go out on the court, and when you're done, you come back, you can pick your baggage up and leave. But while you're here, leave your baggage off to the side. And that's kind of, you know, I still get goosebumps every time I think of her saying that. That's always stuck with me. A big part of tennis, I mean, you never come in contact with your opponent. You play the ball. It's a huge mental game, and when it comes to mental toughness, I sometimes revisit that conversation. I tell this to the kids at Jefferson, and no matter what you have going on in your life, this is your thing. This defines you. This is who you are as a person, and when you're here, forget about everything else and just kind of be yourself, play your game, and then once you're done, this is supposed to be your happy place. You're supposed to be building up your mental fortitude, and once you're done here, you can go home and complain about it then, but that would be the best advice I've ever been given.
Favorite professional tennis player?
Fed.
TV show you can watch over and over?
Impractical Jokers.
Favorite musical artist?
Oof, Drake.
Last movie you watched from beginning to end?
I feel bad saying this, but The Little Vampire. It's Halloween.
Favorite sport to watch besides tennis?
I love watching professional basketball.
Beach or mountains?
50-50. I gotta go beach though. I gotta be in the sun.